woman sitting in a Nashville prison, and there is mounting public pressure to free her. Today, in 2017, Cyntoia Brown would be classified a sex slave, a little child manipulated who didn't stand a chance against the men who used her. But that wasn't the case in 2004. Cyntoia Brown, abused.
Are we ready to proceed?
Physically, sexually, verbally.
I've been in very dangerous situations,
Abandoned by her parents.
but somehow I just always seem to make it out alive.
The Department of Corrections declined Fox 17 News' request to interview her, but filmmaker Dan Berman shared video from his 7 years documenting Cyntoia Brown's case.
I was abused, so I was very paranoid.
She's convicted of murder for killing a Nashville realtor who'd bought her for sex.
She was picked up by this 43-year-old man.
Cyntoia was 16 years old when this started.
Berman's documentary gave voice to her childhood horror.
This is a young girl who is at the tail end of 3 generations of violence against women.
Her grandmother, her mother, her, all raped.
She had no chance.
There was always a gun pointed at me, head being choked, dragged.
She did kill someone. She deeply regrets it, but she was a child who was being traumatized and exploited.
She shot Mr. Allen because she was fearful of him, didn't she? Yes.
He was a sharpshooter in the Army. If he does something to me, I'm sitting here thinking, what can I do?
Further affecting impulse control, her mother testified drinking at least a fifth a day while pregnant.
She was exposed to fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. Her brain was actually affected. There were brain scans that were done. She was being sex trafficked. The pimp's name was Cutthroat.
The only time that I would ever be considered for parole is after I was served 51 calendar years. Since I would be 67 years old.
A young girl today would not be in prison for life.
It really does feel unjust.
Berman's film on Cyntoia helped change Tennessee law for children like her in 2011.
I like to believe that our film had enough oomph in it to help kind of jumpstart that conversation.
Today, anyone 18 or younger can't even be charged with prostitution.
No such thing as a child prostitute or a teen prostitute. We've had to have a cultural mind shift.
If Brown's case were heard today, the court would treat her as a child human trafficking victim. Though Berman's not involved, there are now plenty who want her set free.
There is a very dedicated group of people who are working on a clemency campaign. All we can really hope is that the governor and the parole board will really look at the unique factors of her case.
Unique factors like the work she's done behind bars for years.
I can create opportunities where I can actually help people.
Here she is in graduation pictures from Lipscomb University for an associate's degree. She's now working on her bachelor's while working side by side with the courts and the juvenile justice system as an unpaid consultant, a friend of the system.
She has used her experience to be able to make things better.
Well, we'll see you in the morning, young lady.
I want a second chance.
Fox 17 News will continue to update you on the push to free Cyntoia. At the same time, Tennessee is recognized tonight as the #1 state for laws that fight child sex trafficking. Shared Hope International awarded Tennessee the top spot just today. Derry Smith of End Slavery Tennessee, among other agencies, have helped strengthen Tennessee law to rescue children being held against their will.
Wow. When I first learned about this story, and I said I have to do a little bit more research about it, because I found out about it in an Instagram story. If y'all are familiar with Instagram, that's like Instagram version of Snapchat, and that's how I found out about this story. And I said, wow, this is a very loaded story, and I'm not even gonna lie. Just reading the transcript of what you just listened to in that audio damn near brought tears to my eyes. Like, this young lady right here is losing her freedom because she fought back against someone who was constantly raping her, and she was just simply bought just for sex at the age of 16 back in 2004. And because of Tennessee's whack ass laws, she gets sentenced to life for protecting herself. You heard what it said in the clip. They said if this happened in 2017, she would be seen as a human or a sex child, a sex slave, basically a child human trafficking victim. not as a murderer. And that's exactly how they treated her, as a murderer, and charged her as an adult to life in prison. And she said that she would not be eligible for parole until she is 67 years old. This is some fucked up shit. It really is. And this is happening in the state of Tennessee. And it also said that they are still fighting to get those laws changed, because they said there's no laws against prostitution and, you know, things of that nature in the state of Tennessee. So that means that they can still do shit like this and get away with it. Now, it's a whole lot different than Vegas, because, you know, in Vegas they say prostitution is real, but of legal age. The way they're making it sound like in Tennessee is that they can have a child sex slave and nothing will happen to the pimp or whoever bought them. All she was doing was merely protecting herself. And she said she was in fear for her life because this guy was a sharpshooter and had guns all over the house and used to have guns pointed at her head daily. She never knew if that was going to be the last day she would be breathing. And she grew up rough. They said her mother used to drink every day and causing her to have a little brain disorder. But the way that the way that she's functioning, you would never know that until they told you. However, I have to give her huge kudos for going to get her associate's degree, and now she's going to get her bachelor's. Unfortunately, she has to do all of this shit while being in jail and being an unpaid consultant. But I'm glad that her story is, like, you know, getting out there. And a lot of this stuff came out last year, and we're just hearing about it this year. And I was reading through some of the comments, and, you know, they have articles calling her a child killer and whatnot. I'm like, why would they label her a child killer? First off, if you read it the wrong way, they make it seem like she actually killed a child, which is not the case. But you have comments reading what they said, well, I understand, but at the end of the day, if you murder someone, you pay the price for what you did. I said, y'all don't even know the whole damn story. And people saying, oh, well, she deserves what she has. I don't care what she did. Y'all do not know the whole damn story. You already know it was the caucus thing who left those damn comments. You know they don't have a fucking heart. Soulless bastards. This could have happened to one of their kids, and then the mainstream media would have went through the four corners of the earth to try and find their child. Yet this young lady fights for her life. She had to fight for her life outside of jail, and now she's fighting for her freedom while she's inside. She's never had a normal life, to be quite honest. She's been through hell and back to, you know, all of her life. This is some fucked up shit. It really is, in every sense of the word. I will leave the link to that article in which the video played from in the description, as well as my other links as well. Like, I mean, this is just absolutely crazy. Like, I'm trying to find more words to say without having to sound repetitive, but it's hard. Like, this fucked up system screwed this girl over. Big time. She was only 16 at the time, back in 2004 when all of this shit happened. And they literally treated her like she was the one who committed this action. And it seems like they're making it seem like she's well deserving of what happened to her in the sentence that she got. All because of their fucked up laws down in Tennessee. You would never catch me living in any of those states. Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, no. I wouldn't even want to travel there unless I'm in a plane and I'm flying over those states. You wouldn't have to worry about me driving through. No. It just wouldn't happen. The racism down there is unreal. But it doesn't surprise me because Tennessee is the founding home for the Klan. This young woman got a raw deal. A very raw deal. But just hear her say that she won't be eligible for parole until she is 67 years old. She's She's one year older than me, so that means that now she's 29. About to be 30. She has over 30 years left to go, unless somehow they can overturn her sentence, which I'm sure she's fighting to do, and be released from jail. I mean, could you imagine that happening to you, where every day you are constantly being tortured, and one day you build up the courage to kill your torturer, and then all of a sudden you get to court and they tell you that you're guilty and that you're going to jail for the rest of your life because you defended yourself? There's many cases I'm sure that are out there like this, and I hope a lot of them do come to the surface, but this one right here, this is a hard pill to swallow. This has to be one of the most emotional videos I've ever done. But I'm glad that she's keeping her head up, and you can tell by the tone of her voice that she's not beaten down. She's not depressed. She probably is depressed, but she's not letting it show. And I hope that she is somehow released from prison, somehow, some way, because this story, we need to make this go viral. This is like some messed up shit right here. It is currently 5:41 in the morning and I'm making this video. I don't like doing videos like this, but this is videos like this that have to be put out there, because the world needs to see what kind of shit goes on in this establishment. I really don't have anything else left to say. I'm gonna let y'all take over. Just let me know what you think in the comments.